All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chase Spicer Show. This is episode 2. We've got a very special guest today. Nashville recording artist Clayton Shay is joining us on the show today. Clayton, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, buddy? Doing pretty good. How are you?
Man, can't complain. Can't complain. So, how's Nashville going? You were talking. You said you just got out of the studio, making some new songs and stuff. How's
Yes,
everything
sir.
going there?
It's good, man. It's a weird time to be a musician. Obviously with the pandemic going on, but I think
Sure.
that the best thing that people can do right now, if you're a musician, is just focus on your studio stuff because that hasn't really slowed down. In fact, for me, it's picked up, if anything.
Hey, man, that's good though. Always writing and being creative, man.
Oh
That's all
yeah.
we can say, man. But yeah. So obviously we're during these times, tough times and everything, but are you still playing shows or are you getting to go out a little bit? I've seen on Instagram Live and stuff that you've been playing a couple things, but I just didn't know what
Yeah,
the
dude.
whole situation is there.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the pandemic, it was a lot of virtual stuff. It was a lot of Facebook, Instagram lives, but it was great at the time. But there for me, there's no substitute for physical, being in front of people and getting that interaction. So as
Yeah.
soon as I was able to just do that again, I did. And honestly, I was pretty fortunate. There wasn't much of a lapse for me. There was a few months there where there was nothing going on,
Right.
like the whole world shut down, but it was pretty much like late June, early July, probably when I was starting to kind of book things here and there. Super weird at first, like super socially distanced and very few capacity. Not a lot of venues were allowing many people in, but things have been loosening up a little bit. We actually just got an extra hour added on to our like
Nice.
limits, which is a small victory. So things are open till midnight now here. So I'm playing a little bit more here and there. But yeah, like I said, just mostly just focusing on the studio.
That's awesome, man. Lucky for
Yeah.
you, everything's open at midnight. Here it shuts down at 9. You can't even buy beer at 8:30
That's
anymore.
crazy, man.
Dude,
That's
it
crazy.
sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty
Charlotte's
strict up in Illinois too. That's where I'm from. So I've heard a
right.
lot of people have been complaining about that, but
Sure. Yeah, I was actually about to ask you. I know you came from Illinois, so really a lot of people were curious. How did you really get started with your music career, and what really said, "Hey, I'm going to move to Nashville and make this my reality"?
yeah. So I'll answer those in two answers. So
That's fine, dude. That's fine.
start of my career, I guess if you want to say how I started musically, it was kind of really early on, like playing my grandma's piano. That's what really got me
Nice.
into music. I never really had any lessons, but I've always had just kind of this drive and this desire to kind of be like an entertainer. So that's what made me kind of decide to do that early on. I started in like the bar scene when I was 18,
There you
um,
go.
playing all around as much as an 18-year-old can. And I never really considered it as anything that was like a real possibility until I graduated from college. So I went to ISU up in Illinois, got my bachelor's. I was all set up to go to grad school. I
Right.
had a really close connection with a lot of my professors that were kind of like vouching for me, and I was getting ready to graduate, and I met with them, and I was like, "Hey, look, I've got this music thing that I'm doing. I love it, and honestly, nothing is as gratifying as that. Like, I loved school, but nothing was as
Sure.
gratifying as music was. So all my professors were just like, "Yeah, do that. Like, do the music thing, and because you can always go back to school." So that's when I kind of was like, I did not expect to hear that from a college professor. So I was like, wow,
Right.
that's something. So it kind of just flipped the switch in my head, and I was like, all right, full force towards the music thing. And I started playing at a club in that town, one of like the hot like college bars that everyone went to, and
Sure.
played that for a couple of years, and then decided that I really couldn't get much further up in Illinois with what I wanted to do. So I needed to get down here, and that ultimately was what made me make the decision to move. Was just kind of that. I'm sure I could have done more up there, but I felt like to me like I had hit kind of a glass ceiling, like I couldn't get too much
Sure,
further.
man.
So I needed
Yeah,
to get
absolutely. I mean,
where the
I
hub
get that.
was. Yeah.
I grew up in West Virginia. I know you knew that, and it's funny that you brought up being entertainer at a young age. We used to have like the Now CDs, and we'd put them in the boom box and have the neighbors
Oh
come by,
yeah.
like sell like tickets and stuff. But we were
Oh
terrible. But
yeah, dude.
it is what it is. I had like one of those Echo microphones, so I sounded
Heck
like
yeah.
a absolute idiot. But
I had
hey, it's
all
okay
those.
though, man. We were
I had
entertainers
all
since
those
birth.
little. Oh yeah, I had all those little toys back in the day too, like the little toy guitars and stuff. Man, yeah. So
yeah, I was trying to be Eminem. So
hey,
there you
it's
go.
not too late for you. I feel like you got it in
Yeah. Oh man, I kind of switched to the podcast there a little bit, so
there.
that's all right though. But yeah, man. I mean, like obviously we have known each other for a little bit now. Started playing smaller shows. You worked your way up. Now you're in Nashville. What are kind of some of your inspirations to really you get music from somewhere? Maybe you listen to something, or maybe it's experiences you've gone through, or something like that. But what are like some of your inspirations that help you create this great music that you're making?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. There's a lot of different places that it comes from. Sometimes it's being out talking to people, and
Sure.
somebody will say something, and it'll be like, "Oh, that's a really good idea for for a song title." But almost always, the good songs come from some sort of real life experience. Because I think that if you don't draw on something that you've either experienced or you've seen someone go through, then it doesn't come off as genuine.
Right.
I've gotten a lot of cuts with female artists that are obviously about things that I've never experienced myself. But
Sure. Yeah.
I love to be able to put myself into someone's position and kind of empathize and see like how it would be to go through that, because that's what you got to do if you want to write good songs, basically. So,
Yeah, man. I
but
mean, I know you got a couple out right now that are pretty awesome. We'll touch on those later, but
yeah, man.
you're doing awesome with that. But
Thanks, dude.
yeah, sure, man. But I mean, obviously, picking off that and kind of shifting gears, like where do you really get like your songwriting, your kind of song ideas, obviously from people and stuff. But is there any other elements maybe that help you out, kind of give you a better push to create something?
Caffeine.
Yeah, dude. There
Yeah.
you go.
I mean,
There you go.
yeah. There's like, there's all the tricks that you can do. I mean, it's just about trying to say, it's weird because everything's been said for the most part. There, almost every idea has been written, and it's just about trying to find ways that are creative and different and
Sure.
relatable and interesting enough, basically, to capture someone's attention. And yeah, with the most recent song, it was all about just trying to get a message to people that made them think in a different way, basically. Because, well, we're gonna get into that song later, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
it's it's a different kind of way of thinking that than what a lot of people are used to, But I think for me, when I write a song, I want to either at least make you feel something, whether it's happy or sad or hopefully not angry, but just an
Right.
emotion from it. Yeah, that's the most important thing to me, or to have some sort of something in it that makes you challenges the way you think, that makes you think differently, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, man. Because a lot of artists, they kind of put the same stuff out there. I guess you could say it almost sounds repetitive, and you're kind of
Sure.
like, okay, do something different. And honestly, man, like from the songs that you released and songs that I've heard you play, obviously with shows and stuff, like you have a very, you know, diverse category, if you
Oh,
will. I
thank you,
mean,
man.
yeah, dude, you touch different genres. I mean, whether it's rap, maybe it's country, rock and roll, and you've had that experience. I remember when you were playing with Blackjack Billy and all that. I remember that some Instagram posts and stuff. But I mean, obviously you have a diverse category here. But kind of what inspires you to do that? Like, what makes you create from outside the box and bring it into your realm?
Well, I have a lot of different influences musically. Just like when people ask me who I listen to, it's all over the place.
Same, man.
There's
Same.
really not like a genre of music that I don't like. So I'm a big fan of Frank Sinatra, and I'm a big fan of Eminem. I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of country music. Obviously, and the Beatles have been one of my favorite bands for as long as I can remember.
Hell yeah.
So I have a lot of different influences, and honestly, when it comes to trying to like find my own sound, I don't even know what my sound is. People ask me that all the time. I have no idea. I'm just making music that I think is interesting and sounds good and putting it out,
Right.
and whatever people latch on to, that's gonna kind of dictate what my sound is. So
Hey man, you don't have to explain it to him. It's working for you, so that's all that
yeah,
matters. But
thanks,
when you
man.
said Frank Sinatra, my ear perked up a little bit. I got the slick
Heck
back
yeah,
going.
dude.
Frank Jr. over here. That's what.
Oh
So
yeah, dude. Old Blue
a little
Eyes.
bit, something like that. But kind of getting into that, if you could really write any song right now, currently with any artist, like who would your top three be? It doesn't matter if it's country or whoever.
Yeah,
It could be anybody, but obviously, who
man.
would that be?
That's a tough one, honestly. I guess the first one that comes to my mind is probably Hardy.
Dude, Hardy's
He's
the man.
Yeah, he's easily right now in town the one person that everybody wants to write with, or everybody's kind of reaching for that level of songwriting every time they get into a room.
Sure.
And then I guess within that list, I'm just gonna stick in country just because that'll make it easier.
Dude, that's fine. Yeah, whatever works.
So I guess another person that would be in that three would be Eric Church, because he's honestly the reason why I got into country music in the first place, was
Right.
some of his early stuff. And his songwriting is just so good, and it kind of is timeless in a lot of ways too. The stuff that he put out 10, 15 years ago is still relevant and still so
Oh,
good.
absolutely.
And then, man, third one, maybe it's a toss up, because like there's different reasons for why you'd want to write with somebody. So like Luke Combs, I'd love to write with just because I would love him to cut a song that I wrote, because it's guaranteed
Sure.
to be it's guaranteed to be number one almost.
Absolutely, man.
But then as far as like songwriting quality goes, probably Chris Stapleton would have to be in there. And
Yeah,
then as an
man.
honorable mention, I'd say Brothers Osborne.
Dude, I saw them at the Harris Riverfront in Huntington back when I was in college, man. I'll tell you, top 5 drunkest I've ever been, but they were awesome. They were awesome, man. So, and it was
Yeah.
like still like when they were relatively unknown. I mean, they were
Yeah.
coming up, but like a lot of people didn't know. After that night, man, I downloaded everything that they had, and I was like, they're gonna make it. And then like Chris Stapleton from I think it's Pikeville or Paintsville, Kentucky, one of the two, but it's not too far from where I grew up. So Chris Stapleton's another one that I totally relate with that. But Luke Combs, yeah, again, you know, man, guaranteed probably going to go number one.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
No doubt.
Eric Church, same thing. He's awesome too. I mean, times I've been in Boone, they have like welcome signs, and it like says like welcome to Boone, and it says like home of country legend Eric Church, and then Madison Bumgarner, the World Series pitcher. But I always thought that was funny. And I was like, they couldn't put country music Jesus on there or something. They could spice it up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, but write him a letter and tell him that.
I should. Yeah, he probably won't answer back. He's like, who the hell is this? But yeah, man. And so like obviously you've played all over different states, everything from there. Probably, I know you played up in Canada a couple of times. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
quite a bit with Blackjack Billy.
Hell yeah, man. So what has been like your favorite places to play so far, whether it's in town, like the clubs there, or the bars, or and then even on out? So
yeah, I think easily the favorite memory of a show that I have is in Ontario, Canada. I played with Blackjack Billy, and we played this festival called Boots and Hearts. And it was opening day, and there was 20,000 people in front of us, which is just like there's no other feeling like that, really. So that's easily my favorite thing I've ever done as far as a live show. I play here in town at Old Red a lot, and I love playing there. The staff's great. The sound guys are awesome. The sound quality is awesome. So that's probably my favorite place in town. And then up in Illinois, there's a club I was mentioning that I played at as in the house band at Six Strings Club. That's a great spot. I'm actually going back here in a few weeks. I guess it's more like a month and a half, but it's like a hometown spot, and everybody comes out, and it's one of those things that you just feel the love. So it's such a great spot too.
Hell yeah, man. I got family up in Marion, Illinois, so shout out to them. But yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you know, probably better than playing my going away party and stuff like that. But hey, at least we got drunk and had a good time, man.
I don't really remember a whole lot, honestly.
Nobody does, because then afterwards we were all playing pool and getting absolutely bombed. So that was a good time. Yeah. But I mean, hell of a show. My mom still talks about it. My mom still talks about it. My dad's like that. He's like, God, I hope that guy makes it. What a legend. So obviously you got two fans in them. You got me as a fan, obviously plug the shirt that I won from you. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty awesome. But like, you know, kind of shifting gears towards like the favorite places. What are like some of your favorite songs that maybe you've created yourself or written for or written with other people, but like the ones that you're most proud of, maybe would probably be the better way to describe it.
Yeah. So, I mean, both my singles I'm pretty proud of. The first one I wrote with John Kraft, Garrett Jacobs, and Taylor Phillips. And Taylor's wrote Hurricane with Luke Combs, Good as You, awesome. And Homesick for Kane. So, and he's got a bunch of cuts. I'm really proud of that one. And then the most recent one, Son of the Man, I wrote with just a bunch of my buddies who are just out there grinding. You know, nobody's got any
Absolutely, man.
crazy cuts, but the songwriting quality is up there, you know, amongst the best that I've written. And then I've got one with an artist who's kind of an up and comer. He's signed to Big Loud, so the same record label as Morgan Wallen and Hardy. Sean Stimley, he'll be putting out a song this year that I wrote with him. So that'll be my first major label cut. So I'm super pumped about that because it could be huge. So
yeah, man, we're pulling for you. Get those pockets happy. That's what we want right there for you, man. Get the
or just any money would be great.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, don't worry, man.
We're gonna keep plugging your songs. Don't worry about them. But
Thanks,
you know, the two singles that you were referring to that I've grown to absolutely play in my car, send to my friends. I've sent to, you know, my friends that are girls. You know, that they text me back. They're like, both of these songs are awesome. So
awesome.
But the questions is like, you know, where did those songs come from? What created the kind of inspiration to make your first two singles and coming up?
So I moved to town in 2018 and I started writing very seriously, probably fall, winter of 2018.
Right.
And since then I've written well over 200 songs, probably close to 250. And I was just sitting around waiting, like I was waiting on that first one. I didn't know what it was going to be. I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to that stuff. Well, you know, releasing something that's a part of you is a very vulnerable thing to do. So I'm very particular about things. And so honestly, I wrote that morning with John Kraft and Garrett Jacobs. We wrote a song. Garrett was on American Idol, and John's just a good buddy of mine here in town. Right. And we finished that right. And John was like, "Hey, Taylor wants to come write with us. You guys cool with that?" And we're like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude.
So we wrote one song called Damn That Truck, and John cut that one just recently. And then we were like packing up, getting ready to leave. And Taylor was just on his guitar, just messing around with a melody, like, na, 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 like no words to it or anything. And it's just kind of like one of those songs that just kind of fell out. It was like real easy. Really took no like effort. It was so easy how we wrote it. I've never had one that easy probably before. And it was just four dudes in a room, you know, thinking about a girl, you know, just like trying to envision like that girl that's like so perfect that she's got to be not from this earth, and trying to make that relatable to everybody that listens to it. And I think most guys can relate to that. Like whenever they hear that song, they think of that one girl. So
yeah, I mean, everybody has one.
Yeah,
for sure.
For that song, that's basically how that one went. But Signing to the Man was very, very different. Took us like 7 hours to write that one. So we sat down and kind of had the concept of, you know, like not being jealous or resentful towards an ex, but like wishing them the best. And we tried to form it around that idea. And we did it in 2 sessions. So the first session, we literally just talked about it for 3 hours. We didn't write a single word. And then the next time we got together, we're like, all right, we got something special here. So we want to just make sure that we don't mess it up, basically. So, yeah, all the inspirations for those things usually are coming from some sort of real life example, whether I've experienced it or I've seen someone experience it or I saw it in a movie. And it's got to be relatable, though, almost always. Otherwise, that's to me the most important thing of a song is, can people relate to it? And yeah, so that's
what I'm saying, man. I think both of those people can definitely relate to, in a lot of ways. You know, obviously, whenever we first met and everything, I had gone through, you know, getting dumped and not being engaged anymore, and kind of shifted gears and moved to a more positive situation. So obviously, you're creating more positivity through that. You know, like you said, not being jealous or angry or anything like that, just trying to, you know, reach other people in a better, more positive way. So I think that's really awesome what you're doing with that. And then both of those, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with everybody on here, they're bangers. If you don't listen to them, you're living under a rock. I'm sorry. It's just the truth.
If you say so, I'll take it, man.
Hey, man. No, it's true. It's true. Trust me. After this, everybody that I can reach, I'm sending them your song and be like, you better download this, get my guy his check because he deserves it. So that's all I'm saying. Dude. Yeah, man, got you for sure. But yeah, I mean, what is honestly from going from the 2 singles that you've released that I've already mentioned that are bangers. But what is like probably your ultimate goal with your music career? What do you see for yourself? Being the ultimate goal.
So I've never really cared much about getting like famous. Like I don't care if I ever get to like that Luke Combs, Kane Brown,
Sure.
Morgan Wallen level. I mean that'd be cool probably. I imagine. I don't know. There's some part of me that thinks that once you get to that level, some of the magic's kind of gone because you're,
Right.
there's so much pressure put on you. But anyway, for me, mostly the goal is just to make a living doing it. I don't care if I'm like wealthy, but
Sure.
having a comfortable living to where I don't have to worry about money would be nice. So I could just focus just purely on creating. I'd love to be able to help my family out financially, but
awesome,
more than
man.
anything is just to get my stuff out to as many people as possible, as many people as I can reach. That's ultimately the goal.
Yeah, man, that's awesome though. I mean, obviously you're well on your way to that with a lot of good tunes that are coming out. I can't wait to see what obviously you're writing next. So that's going to be incredible. Yeah. But really from there, what's kind of next for you? You got some shows booked, writing some songs. What's the next thing for you?
Yeah. So, booking a few shows, outside of town, like I mentioned, Six Strings up in Illinois.
Sure.
Just kind of gonna try to start dipping my toe into that a little bit more, trying to get some of the road stuff. It's still so weird, like booking shows right now because places are closing at different times all over the country,
Right, man.
and so that means they can't pay you as much because capacity is lower. So it's harder for it to make sense logistically. But that's definitely a goal. And then also, I got a new song that I'm working on that we spent some time on in the studio today, and it's starting to really come together. And I think it's going to be the best one yet. And that's the goal for me too. Every time is to try to beat what I've already done. So I think this one's gonna blow the roof off. Hopefully.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I like to hear, dude. That's awesome. Obviously you want to perfect your craft. You want to reach a lot of people. You want to make sure that they're tuned into what you're doing and listen to your art, because that's what it is, man. You're really making art here, and that's something that not only kind of persuaded me to be like, hey, like I gotta book this guy to come do a show for me and all that, but also from Todd and Pat that they were like, follow him, man, like this guy's awesome. So did that, but
shout out to those guys too.
Yeah, shout out to them. But I'm glad you're and stuff. I got to get you down to Charlotte, man. I'm gonna talk to people I know. Trust me, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you down here.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Once everything opens back up, it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, man, I'll leave it up to you. If you want to play one of your songs, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, man.
But just go ahead
and guitar right here, conveniently.
Yeah, there we go. That's the moneymaker right there. But yeah, man, whatever one you want to play, go for it. Everybody, listen and enjoy. This guy's a man.
Well, so I'll leave it up to you. Which song do you want to hear? Do you want to hear either the 2 that are released or the new one?
Man, that's up to you. If you want to play the new one of the hits, one of those 2, Girl Like You or Sign Another Man, that's fine. Unreleased, that'd be awesome too, man. But I'm gonna leave it up to you since you're the one playing.
Let's do the new one since
hell yeah, man.
Since nobody's heard that one yet.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So forgive me because I've been a little rusty vocally lately, but we'll try to make it to it. All right.
You got it.
It's called Neon. I wrote it with Andrew Capra and Ryan Robinette.
Hell yeah.
You were in Alabama tea, sipping on a drink. I bet my paycheck that you got for free. We were rolling with the tide, throwing high fives. Then I scored your digits that night. And by the time the lights came up, you had this boy falling in love. Then there was 2 kids in a pickup. Long nights we lived up Just getting started when the sun went down. Whoever knew that you can make a thing last? We started somewhere in a bar downtown. It's one of those things that you just can't explain, but I felt it when you first came around. Since that night in the neon, knew I put my knee on the ground. That summer flew on by with you by my side. I was dreaming about the future and what it'd be like to save a couple grand. Cause I've been making plans to get a house on a hill and a rock on your hips and sills. 2 kids in a pickup, long nights we lived up. It's getting started when the sun went down. Whoever knew that you can make a thing last? We started somewhere in a bar downtown. It's one of those things that you just can't explain, but felt it when you first came around. Since that night in the neon, knew I put my knee on the ground. Knew I put my knee on the ground. Here we are now, family and friends, they're all gathered round. Got your daddy's blessing, and I ain't second guessed it. Since it was 2 kids in a pickup, long nights we lived up. Just getting started when the sun went down. Whoever knew that you can make a thing last? It started somewhere in a bar downtown. It's one of those things that you just can't explain, but I felt it when you first came around. Since that night in the neon, knew I put my knee on the ground. Since that night in the neon, knew I put my knee on the ground. Knew I put my knee on the ground.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes, that was awesome, man. That is a
Hell
hit
yeah.
right there for sure, bro.
Thanks,
I
dude.
dig that, man. I dig that. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
man. Yeah, it's my
Absolutely.
favorite. It's my favorite one yet too. So I appreciate
Oh
that,
man,
man.
honestly, the other two were awesome too. That one, I agree with you. That's my favorite one too. I think it's going to go up the charts, my guy, for
Let's
sure.
hope, dude. Let's hope.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, man, go ahead and plug your social media so people can find you. Also, everybody, as you can see, I do have the Clayton Shay shirt on that I
Show it to him.
win. Hey, that's all right. I know you're upset about it, but I won. But you got the hat right here. I know he's got multiple colors in it. That's a dope hat. You can wear that with anything. Got the koozie right there with the CS on this side. Hey, on that side, bro, I got you, man. I'm just trying to help you out. But go ahead, man. Plug your social media. Let everybody know where to find you. Also, just, hey, man, whatever you want to say, go for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, ClaytonShay.com. I haven't been updating my website as much as I should. I'll get on that soon. But as far as socials go, just Clayton Shay Music across the board, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which I've been really putting time into lately. It's actually kind of blowing up. So get on the talk. And then Twitter is Clayton Shay Solo, which I don't ever get on Twitter. But
yeah, I saw that. I followed you anyway. It don't matter.
Heck yeah. Thanks, dude.
What's your LinkedIn? I'm kidding. No.
LinkedIn, yeah. I used to have one back in the day. I don't think if you find me on there, it's probably me from like when I was like 18 years old or something. But then other than that, just the new single coming out. I don't have a date for it yet, so we're just working on that. But yeah, follow me on the talk. That's my new thing, man. I'm putting all my time into it.
Oh yeah, just blow up his social media, follow him, whatever you got to do. Book some shows if you guys are listening. Get this guy wherever you need him. Trust me, you won't be let down. Clayton, bro, thank you very much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. Next time we probably talk, man, you're gonna have a number one chart hit.
Shoot,
let's just be honest. So. Yeah. All right, man. But I appreciate you jumping on here. I know you're got a really busy schedule, but I really do appreciate that, man. That's love. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me, dude. Appreciate you.
That's the Jake Spicer Show for today. Thank you guys for listening. Be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can find it. Also be on YouTube. Just got a brand new YouTube channel, so everybody look out for that. Clayton, thank you again, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.
Take care, buddy.